This is a quick video to remind you that you can write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. Which is y equals slope times x plus the y-intercept. This is your slope. This is your y-intercept. It's where it crosses the y-axis. And if you are given a point like -2, 3, and you're given a slope, let's say of -2, you can write this equation given this point and this slope. Okay, and this is how you do it. You know that the point is an ordered pair, so you take these two values, one for x, the other for y, and you substitute them into the equation, the slope-intercept form, the equation of a line. So let's just show you an example here. So 3 would go in for y. Your slope is -2, so we're going to go ahead and plug that in as well for slope. And your x value is also -2. And your y-intercept, we don't know. So when you plug in for x and y and your slope, you're left to determine what the y-intercept is, because you need the y-intercept in order to write the equation of the line. So when we do the calculation here, we get 4 plus b equals 3. Then we realize we have to find out what b equals. Well, we use inverse operations to solve, to isolate b by subtracting 4. So b would equal -1. Now we've got all the information we need to write the equation of this line in slope-intercept form. We have the b and we have the slope. So I'm going to write the equation. Y equals -2x take away 1. And this is the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line that goes through this point and has this slope. I hope that's helpful. Now the next slide, I'm going to remind you that if you're given 2 points, like 3, -1, and -2, 0. Let's say we're given these 2 points, that you can also write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form by doing the following. You can calculate the slope here real quick by using this formula. Okay, and I'm going to calculate the slope pretty quickly here. Check my math. It's going to be 0 take away -1 in the numerator, and the denominator is going to be -2 take away 3. So I end up with 1 over -5, and this is my slope. Okay, so now I've got the slope. And I can take the slope and one of the points, I'm just going to pick this one, and plug it into this formula so that I can figure out the y-intercept. All right? Or I could use the point slope formula, which is y minus y1 equals m, or slope, times x minus x1. Now if I use this point for my x and y value, and I plug it into the formula for my x and y1, and I've got my slope, I'm going to plug that in as well. Let's see what happens. So we've got y minus -1 equals -1/5 times x minus 3, because that's my x1 value. So on the left-hand side, I'm just going to simplify y plus 1. On the right-hand side, I'm going to distribute this -1/5. And when I do that, I get -1/5 x plus 3/5. Now, in order to get y by itself, I subtract 1, which is 5/5. So if I'm going to rewrite this whole equation in slope-intercept form, it's going to be y equals negative 1/5 x take away 2/5, because I did 3/5 take away 5/5, which is take away 2/5. And that is written in slope-intercept form. Otherwise, you could go ahead and calculate the slope like we did here, and then just use one of the ordered pairs into the slope-intercept form. For instance, we would plug in negative 1 for y, we'd plug in negative 1/5 for x, for slope, 3 for x, and we're trying to figure out the y-intercept, so we do the calculation on the right, and then we add 3/5 to isolate the b. So that's negative 5/5, so that will give me negative 2/5 equals your b, or your y-intercept, which is what we got right here. So there's two different ways you can go about it. This is called point slope given 2 points, and the other one is slope point slope form. Okay, so that's just a little summary of those two ways to figure out how to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form.